It's Dan VR here, back at it again with another topic that I'm probably going to talk about for 5 minutes, drop the next day, and move on to. Just kidding, guys. Yo, what's going on? It's Dan here, and today, guys, I just wanted to honestly just get into how mobility is going to be the downfall of Deepwoken. Now, the original plan for this video was to make a documentary on Jetstriker and how it's the best oath in the game, but looking back at it, honestly, while I was recording my lines and stuff like that, you know, reading off my script, I was like, I really can't do that without having, you know, like, to get my real thoughts and feelings out, and that's what this video is gonna be, man. So in this video, we're gonna be going over why mobility is gonna, you know, kill Deepwoken and why it's the worst thing for PvP. Not really, but it's just my thoughts on mobility as a whole. So if you guys do enjoy, make sure to like, make sure to sub, make sure to join our Discord link in the description, and cool transition to the main video. Whoa! Now, one of the biggest things in mobility, and I feel like one of the biggest influences for mobility in the game right now, is overworld content. Let that be from just fighting to ganks to 1v1s to even just exploration. Mobility is always going to be a needed feature. Let's say I put it like that. It's going to be a needed feature. You always need mobility in a game, whether that be to run, whether that be to walk, whether that be to, you know, scoot on over to Etris, Arisia, wherever the hell you're going. Christ, even going on a boat, that's technically mobility. You want to know why? Because you're moving somewhere. Say in this example, we're going to be using mobility in a PvP setting. Let's say you're at a gank and every single person is on Jetstriker besides you. Are you going to be able to confirm kills? Are you going to be able to catch up to them? Are you going to be able to catch Jetstrikers at all, just on a basic plain build, no mobility whatsoever? Simple answer, no, you're not, because that currently is how the meta is shifted in this game. It is a full mobility meta, even in Chime, you know, even in Chime when you're face to face with your opponent. What's one of the most prominent oaths you're probably going to see in Chime? Jetstriker. And Dawnwalker. I mean, yeah, of course Dawnwalker is still going to be there. It's been there since, you know, the release of Layer 2, obviously for reasons like Radiant Kick, Bloodless, etc, good damage. Jetstriker is somehow able to fully replicate that with combo extensions like Jet Kick and Fake Strike, while having good mobility from dashes and Strato Step, and also having really good Bloodless on the moves itself. So my question is, if we have Dawnwalker, which is a full combat oath, which is basically, you know, it's supposed to be the best oath in the game for combat, but it has zero mobility, but then we take something like Jetstriker, which has beautiful mobility, beautiful combo extension, and just beautiful all-roundedness, and put into Chime against Dawnwalker, which one do you think is come out on top, Dawnwalker or Jetstriker? We have one oath that is basically good in every single thing you put it against, or we have one oath that's only good in certain situations. And that's where it falls down to right now, because mobility currently is taking over PvP just by a plethora of reasons why. From build creation, straight up assassinations, to Jetstriker, to just mobility as a whole, like I've said, and things like, you know, mantras, head stacking, tornado, gale, thunder. All of these things can be tied into mobility, especially because mobility goes well with everything. Goes well with most oaths, goes well with most attunements, especially with things like Gale and Thunder, like we just listed, especially with the hybrid mantra, which, let me remind you, carries airtime. For what purpose are you carrying airtime? Pair that with Flame Leap with a reversal spark. Oh, guess what? You turn into Superman. You get to fly around Metropolis like Etris, saving the people of Etris, picking them up from ganks. So here we go again. And a thing with this as well is Star Kindred as well. I feel like bird builds, I know some of you guys might have just cringed at the fact I just said bird builds, but if you know what bird builds are, they are extremely annoying airtime builds that preface using Flame Leap and especially Star Kindred Fireblade to maintain airtime, basically play cooldowns and just stay in the air 24/7. Where does that stem from again, Deepwoken? Mobility! Mobility! You wanna know why? Because Flame Leap is a technical form of mobility. Star Kindred dashes are a technical form of mobility, game, and guess we're also like, oh my god, dude. It's just insane to me. Like, it's not even the oaths, it's not even the elements either. It's the fact that mobility, like agility as a whole, the talents are extremely good as well. We have things like Dust Lunge, we have things like Down Comes to Claw, we have things like Tap Dancer, Cheap Shot. That is all really good things. And I believe I've said this before. I'm gonna leak something real quickly. Me and Awagers have just recently done an interview. I'll probably make that into a separate video. But we were talking about Jetstriker and how if you go 75 agility pre-shrine, you're able to get cards like Cheap Shot, Tap Dancer, Ghost, maybe even Observation Safety Dance if you want to, and Down Comes to Claw for practically free. Because once you shrine that down, guess where you're gonna be at? 50 agility, perfect. And guess what you can get? You can get Jetstriker for practically 0 cost. You can get Jetstriker and all of these good cards. Down comes the claw, tap dancer, chief shot, 60 agility, 65 agility, 75 agility requirement, and you're just able to shrine down and just perfectly perfect your build to have Jetstriker on it. Literally the best oath in the game. And you're able to practically, when you hit someone with a crit, I don't know if you guys know this, but when you hit someone with a crit with down comes the claw, you are able to cancel out their movement, and you're also you basically stop them from rolling. So pair that up with a weapon like, let's say, Pyre's Keeper with a multi-hit crit, pair that up with Trident Spear with multi-hit crit, basically any single thing that has a multi-hit crit in the game, you are able to stop them from basically rolling, catch them in a free combo, and you get that for free while also getting Jetstriker. Now I know what you guys can say in the comments, oh, he's nitpicking, oh, this is just a rant, Tana, this is just a rant. And you guys are kind of right in that sense. Yes, I am just going on and on about, oh yeah, how mobility is going to be the death of the game. But be honest with yourself real quickly. How many ganks have you gone to where there's not at least one form of mobility? And I know that's going to sound like a stupid question because you're going to be like, oh yeah, Tana, of course you're going to want mobility at a gank. It's overworld content. But think about it deeper. How many people in that gank are running a mobility? Just any form of mobility. Let that be mantras, let that be Jetstriker, Star Kindred, any form of mobility. What kind? Just think for a second. And you might have an answer. It might be, oh yeah, a bunch. Oh yeah, maybe a little bit. But when you think of comp scene as well, like I know we're about to get into competitive scene, how it's a toxic, I'll say that for another video. But when we get into the comp scene and the YouTube space as well, and we look at the influence of creators, i.e., you know, Smooth, Woggers, just a bunch of these hard-hitting names in the comp scene and CC scene, and we look at the kind of content they're pushing and like the builds they're pushing and stuff like that, and it seems to become a path. Jetstriker, 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 with people also like Zuko, Nyari, for example, all prominent names in the community, and they're all running the same oath, and I wonder why. Because, they're PvP creators, and Jetstriker's only gimmick is running away and having good mobility. So how is this able to keep up, you know what I mean? How is this able to keep up good mobility, have great damage output, and be able to just basically be pushed onto the community as the best oath in the game? And I know that point might not make sense, but I hope it does, because I'm just trying to break down the influence that the community has for a second. So, Jetstriker, before the rework, it was really good for ganks. So let's just put it like that. Visuals Grace, it was OP apparently. It wasn't the craziest thing of all, but the main thing that carried it was the gimmick. And what was that gimmick? Mobility. Star Kindred, for example, the air dashes. I wouldn't say it carried it, let's be honest, Celestial Assault and Sinister Halo carried it, but the air dashes played a giant part, not just only in PvP, but in PvE as well. Star Kindred with speedrunning, with, you know, afro dashes or whatever they would call it, and just air dashes in general, played a huge part in speedrunning just by saving a couple of extra seconds. So if mobility has that much of an influence on PvE and PvP alike, my question is, why are we not nerfing it? I know what you guys are going to say, oh, but Tana, they just nerfed assassinations, you know, they've been nerfing assassinations, that's a huge part of mobility, isn't that? Well, yes, it is, but they also recently just made Dust Lunge execute people while in combat. So they're literally actively buffing mobility as we speak. They are buffing mobility as we speak. They are buffing assassination builds. One of the biggest problems of mobility, period. I mean, I feel like every single person on the planet can agree. When you see an assassination build at a gank, you probably go, oh my god, here we go again. Because you have to deal with something that's an annoyance. That's where mobility stems from. Just being an annoyance. It has a simple gimmick. And that's what Alchemist also had. It had a stupid gimmick where you can just infinitely pop pots. And look what they did. They nerfed it and made it balanced. So why can't we do that with Jetstriker? Why can't we do that with mobility? Why can't we do that with Star Kindred? I know what you're going to say, though. It's going to be oh my god, but then you have to nerf Flame. But then you have to nerf Thunder. But then you have to nerf Gale. Then you have to nerf mobility over the board. I'm not saying we do that. I'm just saying we should start someplace and stick with it, man. That's just my 2 cents, though. Listen, man, I got my 8 minutes. Hey, man, let me know your opinions down in the comments down below, because honestly, this is a really interesting topic, and I do want to make more videos that aren't just, you know, yaps and rants. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to sub, make sure to like, join my Discord, link in the description, and I'll see y'all next time, man. Santa, out, man.